All right, what's up, everybody? Good afternoon to all. Welcome on back, this Wednesday, this August 19th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, guys. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. We have class on the horizon coming up at 3:05 p.m. Eastern time. I had mentioned to a few of us here in the trading room, my favorite class, at least for the Phase 1 stock course. We're going to be going over journaling, everything that you would need to know as far as journaling, why it's so important, why you need to do it, how to do it most importantly. All right, perfect. So great to see Stefan, Bonnie, Norman, Donnie, Ron. Good afternoon to all. So let's hop into it. The AESE trade pump and dump. We ended up seeing this stock come out with news early on in the morning. I'll get to what happened just after 2 o'clock in a moment, guys. Just we ended up seeing the FOMC minutes meeting just finished up. So we ended up seeing a huge drop off across the major indices, and then from there a nice squeeze back up. But we'll check back in on that in just a second. AESE, we have a hat trick of news here at least. So the AESE trade, I'll copy and paste. We ended up seeing news come out early this morning, 8:30. Allied Esports Entertainment Company shares are trading higher after the company announced that its Odyssey tournament had roughly 1.6 million live viewers. How about that? So for any of us that weren't really interested in esports and all that stuff, well, there's a market for it somewhere. So that's the news that came out on it this morning. 1.6 live concurrent users. That's pretty crazy. We ended up seeing a nice pop early on going into the morning, a nice steady trend going into the afternoon rather, and then from there just dump right back down. So for a stock that's trading well over its average and well over, 120.8 million shares across the day, it's easy for me to say this, and especially with it tanking at this point, but certainly with it tanking now, this stock is likely just going to die off. If not just trade in a sideways move, then just drop lower even. I would have said that right away, even after 250, the break over 250 resistance, it got us even up to the high 288. But from there, that's where the wheels fell off. All right, so for right now, the AESE, maybe to keep it in mind, keep it on your side list for the rest of the week, but certainly I don't think it'll be this afternoon. All right, so let's hop over to the SPY. Hopefully it doesn't freeze up my screen here. I'll copy and paste at least a couple of headlines I have here just as far as the FOMC meeting minutes. Looks like officials saw disinflation as the main price pressure risk. I'll copy and paste that. And along with that, it looks like another couple here. Looks like FOMC, some are worried about financial stability risks if the pandemic persisted. Number of officials saw more clarity on the rate path as helpful. So these are just little snippets I got from Benzinga Pro here, guys. So for right now, you can see at least the SPY ended up diving off. Nice little squeeze back up for right now, and hopefully will continue. This could be a good day to follow just the side list stocks otherwise, like the AALs out there, the NCLHs out there, the airlines, cruise lines, and even like the entertainment stocks, the casino stocks, etc. We'll check in on those actually just very quickly. The airlines we ended up trading shortly after the market opened up. All of them pretty much just took off. So we ended up seeing AAL make a nice run from pretty much where it had opened up right now, 1270-ish up towards 1340. Delta, same move. This one's trying to break a little bit lower even right now. I know Fausto is in and out of JetBlue pretty quickly here after the morning. All right, so they're all kind of trading the same. We're checking on the cruise lines, though, too. It looks like NCLH ended up having a nice pop and run after the market opened up. RCL, a little bit more expensive, a little bit more volatile with that in mind, but making the same type of move here. So pretty volatile market heading into this afternoon. That's good for us traders. So we'll come back to those perhaps at the end. With class coming up, though, guys, let's just go right from top to bottom across the gainers and losers list. And as I'd said, we'll jump back definitely to the side list stocks at the end. I wouldn't be surprised adding like an NCLH or an AAL or RCL here even. All right, so next news snippet I have for us here is on this BDR. So BDR, if it wasn't the AESE I was going to start off with, it would have been this. This was all over the place. So the news that's out on this, ready? For all of us here live, at least. Copy and paste. The news, well, there's no news. Says the company knows of no reason for the recent increase in price, volume of stock, says that there's been no material developments. So, clearly this has just been either a day trader's pump up or just a short squeeze where the shorts are just covering with that in mind. A huge domino effect. We ended up seeing the stock get halted a few times just based off volatility. And then it got halted suddenly for news pending. And we figured, all right, well, obviously something's going to come out. as of right now, there's no news. That was from 12:59 Eastern time, the little snippet I just posted there for all of us here live. Nothing really came out since. So, pretty interesting. Once this reopened up, we ended up seeing it just gap down, ended up making a nice squeeze back up over and back under that 250. So I'd say the same with this. Like I'd said just on the AESE trade, guys, for a stock that's trading well over its average, 77 plus million shares today. I mean, just prior to today, even. Prior to today, this stock trades an average of like 90,000 shares, 100,000 shares on average. So I would say the float on this is going to be extremely low. I don't have that number. Oh, actually, I got the number right here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, 3.61 million share float. It's trading 78 million shares practically today. So, yeah, certainly for right now, I'd say this thing is just gone. All right, MNTA. No surprise here as far as why it's making this exact move. We covered this actually in the phase one stock course back yesterday, or 2 days ago rather. Buyouts, when we see a stock or company get bought out, it just trades in a really tight range, just flattens out throughout the remainder of the morning and afternoon. So, definitely wasn't worth watching leading into the morning. Hope nobody got caught off guard on that. And is HUD a buyout also? I just say that based because it's up a lot. It's just barely moving. It looks like it. I'll just check Benzinga Pro, just make sure. But let's see here for HUD. Yeah, 770 a share. Looks like they were bought out. CBL, nice cheapie, ended up making a nice pop after the morning or after the market opened up. But for right now, that's it. All right, we'll kind of just skim through here, guys, just based on price and volume and percent change, just like we had covered in class even a couple of days ago, like I was saying. Yeah, right now, that one, we're going to pass on the MNTR. This one's looking good based on trend. I mean, steady trend. It's right near the highs. Order book is, pretty filled in. Bit of a spread here or there, but otherwise, you're seeing orders on the bid and the ask at most price levels near where it's trading. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever traded the stock before. RFP, pretty interesting. Ended up seeing the stock, looks like it made a huge pop going back into July, and then it's creeping back up towards those very highs right now. Let's see here. It's been a long day of talking there. Pardon me. 350 looks like. Nope, not 350. Come on, where are we at here? There we go. 458, the high back from July 30th. So creeping right underneath there for the meantime. All right, GRWG, kind of a familiar name. We ended up trading them yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, and they're right near the highs as well. So, for right now, we'll add them here too. All right, let's see. Any familiar names here? I'm just going to skim through, just looking for stocks that we've traded in the past, like Kirkland here. Kirkland, I'm more than likely to put this on our list. Had dropped off quite a bit from the highs. I mean, more than anything, it's just been a really volatile stock. I mean, fantastic run over the last month and a half. But what comes with a really nice run comes with more volatility. So we ended up seeing this make a really sharp run, much sharper than the last few days, even pop from 950-ish after the market opened up towards an eventual high 1235. So, what does come up does come back down, but B, at the same time, given the range that this stock has made just today and the last few days, even up and down, I mean, I don't mind putting this on our list. Hopefully this will look to make a higher low, make a sharper bounce back up going into the afternoon. If it doesn't, hopefully you can request the shares to short this. It's hard to borrow for those of us with TradeStation, but always double check. Home, HOME, gap fill on the daily chart over the last week and a half, I'd say. But more than anything, today we ended up seeing kind of similar to Kirk. We ended up seeing a really sharp run after the market opened. Virtually no pre-market activity, but it took off after the open from 17 all the way up towards just about 1950-ish. This one is easy to borrow, so right away I'll add this to our list just for that reason alone. But yeah, just given the range, the volume, I mean, even right now, this thing has a 1 cent spread, pretty filled in order book. So, I'd say it's more of like a level 2 to 3 stock for right now. I don't think it's really much more than that. So, good for most to trade here still. CLSK, I thought news came out on this one earlier. I'll check on Benzinga Pro in just a moment. We ended up seeing CLSK make a huge run going into the last week or two, and then once again today, nice run. Let's see. Clean Spark shares trading higher after the company and International Land Alliance announced a microgrid development agreement. What does that mean? I wouldn't be able to answer. As far as what the move was after the news came out, looks like a positive reaction. We ended up seeing them make a nice pop after the open. And as I had said, still kind of holding somewhat near the highs for right now. Pulled back a little bit, but just given the range, the volume here for right now, very similar to Kirk and Home. We'll put this on our list too. All right. Well, I'll tell you, I almost want to hop right over to the losers list. I don't know how much we'll get on the gainer side of things, guys. I mean, like I had said, I want to check back in on also on the side list stocks, the airlines, the cruise lines, the entertainment stocks, perhaps before we finish up. We're checking on Mankind's MNKD, pump and dump. Pass. All right, hop over to the losers list. If there's anything looking just as good, if not better. GLPG, $140 stock. I don't know what the news is on this, just it was shortable. Wanted to check it out. VIPs coming off earnings, we ended up seeing this drop off once the market opened up, or at least going into the open, then a lot further. It looks like it's flattened out quite a bit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, just based on the range from the pre-market drop, even after the market opened, the drop off, perhaps the shorts will continue to cover. We'll see this make a further squeeze up, but just given this recent trend or lack thereof, maybe to keep it in mind for tomorrow, rest of the week, side list, but yeah, we'll pass. SRBR, shortable, $6 stock. We'll take a look at this. Tradable by all measures. I might just put this on our list. Just, definitely more of a level 1 to 2 stock. Not really moving up or down too much. But down big, squeezed up after the market opened up, pulled back since. Wouldn't surprise me if this ends up moving up towards the VWAP, 696, or at least maybe even a little bit under that, making a pop and drop, then coming right back down. But we'll see. I mean, that's just my kind of envisionment. But yeah, SRBR we'll put on our list here for the meantime. Let's see, anything else? Party City. Wow. Damn. Where we left off on this trade during the afternoon meeting yesterday, we ended up seeing them drop off from Monday's run up, or rather Friday's run up. Monday dropped off, Tuesday, yesterday, same thing. And then here once again, Wednesday. Damn, this thing has just been a steady short. It is shortable for those of us on TradeStation, right at a major support level here at 2. It's level 1, kind of like Saber. I wouldn't really expect a $30, $50 move per share. But for right now, tradable and worth the opportunity. All right, guys, if there's anything else up, down, left, right, 10% or more that looks good, anything that's like really popping or dropping right now that I guess just I didn't have a chance to look at, just let me know. From Daniel, VRCA, steady uptrend. We'll take a look on that. Yeah, 19%. I guess I skipped over this. That's why I always like to ask. Wacky spread. Looks like it could open up quite a bit. Right now it's only about 3 cents, but it could open up very suddenly. It's kind of like a wacky order book, not even just the spread. Kind of a thin, spread out orders on the bid and the ask. Yeah, I mean, how could I not add this to our list just given the recent pop and volume that came in? So good call. And again, I'll say this, shortable. If it completely fakes this out, goes the other way, then there we go. Blink from Michael. Wow, what the hell happened here? We ended up seeing WKHS, if I'm not mistaken, dive off today, right? Yeah, it took a little while to get the gears going on this trade. WKHS, I bring them up because they have involvement with the EV market, right? So same to be said with Blink, maybe in different ways. But otherwise, we ended up seeing Blink make a similar move just a little bit later on, huge drop off. And that was, of course, prior to the meeting minutes that finished up. Take a look at NEO while we're at it too. Speaking of EV stocks, NEO is like doing nothing right now. Solo, same thing. All right. Well, you know what? I'll tell you, Blink, I mean, I like the volatility. I don't think we've been able to get shares to short Blink. So unless if you were able to jump in from around like, 860-ish, 870-ish, just on the way up, that would be a nice trade, of course, in hindsight. You hope to see this begin to really rally back up if you can't get the shares to short. I'll add this to our list, Michael, given the recent move. Definitely a good call. Hopefully there's just a trade for us to capitalize on. UBX, I want to take a look at lastly before we finish up. So right now, I'm actually in this trade, UBX. I wanted to jump to this before we finished. It's doing really not much of anything. I'm in from 325. I'm down a penny. The reason I would think about this stock, just look at the daily chart. I mean, we spoke about this stock yesterday and the day before. It was down 65% back Monday morning, obviously off bad news. You would hope to see a dead cat bounce at some point. And I feel like I've been like the boy who's cried wolf on that. But, anytime you see a stock that is gapped down that much and dropped off that much after, we've seen it before in LK. We've seen it on Amarin, AMRN. We've seen it on Sava, Sava Sciences, I think they're called. We ended up seeing big squeezes up. Well, this clearly has never really given us an opportunity up until at least just recently. I mean, if it ends up breaking lower here, I'll likely just get out, especially with class coming up. And the volume, I will say, since I got in this trade, the volume really waned down. It's only trading about 4,000 shares per minute, whereas when I got in, it was trading about like 12,000 shares. So hopefully, at least for myself and you guys, if you're following along on this trade, ends up making a big squeeze up, hopefully the beginnings of a dead cat bounce heading into this afternoon. If it doesn't make that move today, then I'm not going to swing trade it, but I'll look to follow up with this tomorrow morning if it doesn't make the big squeeze up I'm hoping for today. It's not making that big move right now, right? So just because I'm in it doesn't mean I'm actually going to put it on our watch list right now. So keep it in mind, like keep it on your side list. But I would rather you guys focus on like the Kirklands out there, the RFPs, the Blinks that Michael just called out. Hell, even Party City, PRTY. That looks like a really nice opportunity off too. All right. So, if anything, maybe, just keep this in mind. Keep a smaller eye on it, though. All right. So I think for right now, guys. Oh, that's right. Let me check in on airlines, cruise lines, casinos. That's right. From Donnie, who's staying in the chat board. AAL short. If the markets keep moving lower, then it would be easy for me to say follow the market and follow the direction of the stock here. So that would be the play. But it's right near its opening bell print, 1265. It may have just bounced right over that or shortly above it. I feel like all of these airline stocks are just right near their opening prints. NCLH is not an airline, it's a cruise line, but I'm just jumping to it pretty quickly. Yeah, I mean, again, they're tradable. If you make money on them on a consistent basis, then definitely put it on your personal list going into the afternoon. There's UAL, United. We ended up doing well in the long earlier today, but obviously fell off since. And like I said, it's pretty close near its opening bell print. From Terrence, WKHS, is it worth a look? So going back to that one, I'd say the same thing. It's tradable. Right now, I think Blink is making a sharper move just given the recent, action. If we're kind of, comparing the two, they're both in like kind of the same industry, EV. WKHS, by all means, tradable. It's definitely one of my, side list stocks, Terrence. So definitely it's one that I'll still say if you made money on consistently or if it's one that you find easier to follow, it's worth a look. But if I say that for every stock, though, and put every one of those on our list, I always say this, we'll end up with like a 50 stock watch list, right? So it's a good call. Just for right now, we'll focus on the more volatile ones, the ones that are up or down a little bit more, that have more recent action on them, perhaps. That's it. All right, guys, aside from that, I know that Fausto and I know that Rich in the trading room will be holding you guys up going into the afternoon. At least most of us will be in the class, at least. But for those of you still trading going into the close, they'll be doing the audio commentary. For all of you guys joining class, I'll post the link shortly after we post the stocks. All right, guys. For all of us tuning in on social media, if you'd like to learn more, first and foremost, like and subscribe on your YouTube channel, youtube.com/cybertradingu. Aside from that, as we always say here, more than ahead, guys. Welcome on aboard. Just join us right here inside the trading room. See what we're all about. See what Fausto and Rich and all of us here are trading heading into this afternoon. I'll talk to you guys coming up in class. Take care.